know, a tint of Italian meets a beautiful friend, and it means actually a beautiful friend, and venue which many of you already are familiar with. We're gathered to celebrate and hail the biography of a truly exceptional Mauritian, to wit, Dr. Armogampa Suramen, Dassen, pour les intimes, and once the book in hand, you will not be able to lay it down, as its life story will take you from a true story, sort of from rags to riches, in fact from Malheureux to the world citizen, with an exemplary political career as one of the most innovative and talented ministers of his generation. Ministers of Education, of course, he's better known for that, as well as one whose international missions took him to the highest offices at the World Bank and at UNESCO, where his work served as a recognition for continental Africa. Further, he has also walked many a red carpet, meeting some of the most powerful leaders of this world during his heyday. But apart from these accomplishments, the book makes for some very entertaining read as we follow Dassen in his spiritual quest, with the adoption of the chorale teachings and realizations, such as the Global Rainbow Foundation, and his continuous work in favor of the poor, the destitute, and the children of a lesser God, to borrow from the film's famous title. We should commend the author, Mr. Nivriti Sitoal, CSK, who himself had quite an exemplary career as a well-known teacher and pedagogue before his work was recognized and he was made commander of the Starry Key of the Indian Ocean. I shall stop there, as I would not want to rob the author of the pleasing duty of presenting such a rich and profound work on an outstanding personality who has all the qualities of a true statesman. Mr. Sitwell, I would now like to invite you for your speech. On peut un petit peu l'encourager peut-être.
Thank you. It's a great honor for me to be in front of you this afternoon. I thought it's an auspicious occasion for me. We are gathered to really thank a person who has done quite a few impressive things. And this is why we have deserved a biography to be written on his name. I'm referring here to Professor Armogampa Suramen. Writing itself takes a short time. Writing a book itself can take you 2 months, when it's a very good paper. It's the preparation of thinking out what life that takes time. I can tell you it has taken me at least 10 minutes. Just thinking about, I call him my friend, Professor Suramen. And when the time came to have it went fast. In the meantime, I have been able to publish 2 or 3 books. I was still thinking, and I read for Canada. Now, Mauritius have produced a lot of great scientists. Unluckily, most of them are forgotten. I recall the years 1900 and 1910, the second generation of Indians in Mauritius were considered to have been the most intelligent, and I think the richest also. Till 1920. In those days, they were great men whose names are not known. I asked myself, who remembers Pandit Hamdo, a very great man who dominated Mauritius during 10 years, 1911 to 1923. He was the greatest Indian of his time, and he was simply not good. He was something else. He set up the temple in the headquarters, the big temple of the village. He went to the village, one of the initiators. He had to do the first.
Now, without further ado, I am honored to call upon Dr. Armugam Basuraman to take the stand and share some of the salient features of his biography. Dr. Basuraman, please.
Dr. Navin Chandraramukam, former Prime Minister, Mr. Rao Bandan, former Vice President, Honourable Members of Parliament, Mr. Joseph Christian Leopold, Speaker of Rodrigues Regional Assembly, thank you for coming over, flying to attend this event. Ms. Sunita Rampuram, Gopal, my friend Ramdat Jadu, representative of the diplomatic corps, Mr. Jonathan Coelho from the US Embassy, my cousin Indiran Parasuraman, CEO Belavigo, Chris Kudusamy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. I wish to convey my sincere thanks to you all for having kindly accepted the invitation for the launch of my biography today. I have special words of thanks for my good and genuine friend Dr. Navin Rampuram, who in spite of his very busy schedules found time to come and launch my biography. I thank also Dr. Mr. Rauf Bandan, patrons of GRF, Ramdat Jadu, and Chris Punusamy for always supporting me with the Global Rainbow Foundation mission. And thanks to my cousin Indiran Parasuraman for hosting the event in Belamigo, and wish to congratulate him, you and Gayan, for the Golden Jubilee of Restaurant Real. They just celebrated the Golden Jubilee of this jewel here. Well, I should start by thanking my good friend Nivriti Sutual, who took the initiative himself of writing my biography, and thank him for joining me in Tamil Nadu in Chennai for the launch of the English version on the 22nd of June this year. I have thanked all those who helped with the publication in the acknowledgement section of the book, and I would like to mention Florent and Linda from Atoba, Dylan, Ushita, and Narayanan from Chennai. I wish to thank my colleague Amina Dukit from GRF for translating the book into French on time for its release today. I thank Dr. Marudu Mohan for the Tamil translation, and Dr. Mahalakshmi PhD Hindi from Loyola College, Chennai, for the Hindi version, both from Tamil Nadu, and which will be released in India and in Mauritius in due course. Well, I wish to point out to you that with regard to the sale of this book, it's the Armugam Basuraman Foundation. This foundation, I've set it up while I'm still alive, because I wanted it to survive the foundation to continue the work that we started with Global Rainbow Foundation. And this foundation therefore sponsored the publication of the biography, but I wish to tell you that all the proceeds of the sale of the biography in Mauritius and elsewhere will be donated to the newly created foundation, Global Rainbow Foundation India, which I launched last June in Tamil Nadu at the famous IIT Madras Research Park, and all the proceeds of this, the sale, will go to serve persons with disabilities in India. Therefore, the purchase of a copy of the biography will help us to give back to Mother India and also to touch the lives of persons with disability in India. I've been thinking of what to say today on this occasion, and I must admit that it was not easy to choose the points to mark this important day in my life journey. The contents section of the book gives you the topics covered, and I will invite you to read the book and discover the challenges and the success stories of my journey. I will therefore cover just a few points of this long journey of a villager born in a thatch roof house and cowden floor in Cap Mallory to becoming a world citizen. Well, the Madras Management Association, which hosted the launch in Chennai in June 2022, chose, when I told them about the launch of my biography, they changed the topic. They said, just biography is not good enough. Let's put the topic as success stories, how it was done. So I had to comply with them. But let me first share with you some of the secrets of the success stories. And I will also share with you why, on this special occasion, I've chosen Dr. Naveen Ramgoolam to be the chief guest to launch this biography. Many people have asked me why I've done that, but I'll share with you. I wanted to make that clear today on this occasion. First of all, my whole journey I would like to start it with my great-grandfather, Parasuraman, same great-grandfather like Indira and Galan. And I would invite you to see a short video which will give you an idea of the journey of my great-grandfather from Salem, Tamil Nadu, up to Mauritius. In fact, they landed in Mauritius on the 5th of August, 1884. The story from this video that you've seen shows how far I personally feel very much connected to my roots, because I am a descendant of my great-grandfather. He came here in the difficult circumstances, but he was brave enough to come, cross the seas and came here with his wife, Muruchi. And after he passed away, my great-grandmother left Mauritius, went back to India. And I visited them. I was in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu last August. And on the 5th of August, I celebrated his 138th arrival in Mauritius on the 5th of August 84. And I was there on the 5th of August 2022. It was a very moving ceremony, as you can guess. But let me also tell you a few stories from this. One is the faith I have in my mother. She has not been to school. A mother who has not been to school has been able to bring up a Minister of Education, World Bank Director UNESCO. And my father also, a great man, who really gave me all the guidance to make the journey. So I'm extremely grateful to you. And if you want to know the first secret of the success story, it's Mata Pita Guru Deva. Mata Pita Guru Deva in Hindu philosophy means you have to take the blessings, respect your mother, your father, and your guru. And when I talk of guru, I talk all the teachers, but all the elders who have guided in your life. When you do these 2 steps, God open arms welcome you and take you on your path to take you to your destiny. That has been my life. That's the first reason, the first success story, if you want, the secret of that first journey, how it was happened. Well, and it's a mantra for success also. I tell that to the young people wherever I make conferences, be it in Mauritius or out abroad. I always recite that, get them to realize the importance of taking the blessings of the mother, the father, and also the gurus, the teachers, and also our faith in God. And the second important reason for the success, I must tell you, right from my childhood, my mother and my father really instill in me the very clear understanding and mission that whatever you start, whatever you do in life, have faith in God. And that's the second reason, most important I would say, all along my career, this has been the constant in my life. Have total faith in God. And therefore this is what guided me all along. And I must tell you, I'll give you 2 instances where you will see how God was with me, because I totally surrendered to Him on 2 important occasions. One, my second daughter is here, Dr. Kovila Pasuraman is in the hall, I know. In 1991, when the counting was going on in constituency number 6, that was my last general election. Midway I was winning, I was 3rd. But after midway counting, I fell down to 4th position. And I was losing. I left the counting room, went outside in Fondisac Government School, and I sat on the mango tree with my agents. I told them if God doesn't want me to continue, I'll stop doing politics. But at the same time, and that was the year on the 30th of June 1991, when I turned 40, I had a strong desire to set up a temple in my yard. And so the temple was consecrated on 30th of June, election was in December. And I called my daughter and said, she was 10 years old, I said, you go and pray in the temple. She sat in front of Lord Ganesha in the temple. After some 10-15 minutes, tears came from the statue. When this happened, the ball changes, I move up and win the election. I believe in that strong faith in God. People may not understand it, but I know what it is and how it happened for me. The second one was in 2010. I went for a surgery when I was director of UNESCO in New Delhi. I went to Chennai for a surgery. After the surgery, hernia, which is not so complicated. I came back to the room, and when I was resting, my doctor came and asked me to get up and walk. I was hesitant. I said, I don't feel strong enough to do this. He said, no, you can. I walked, Sheila was with me, my wife was with me. And in the room, when I was walking, after a few steps, there was a sofa. I fell in the sofa, and I was completely gone. The doctor said in front of my wife, I think he's gone. And for 3-4 minutes I was not there. I don't remember what happened, but I came back. And Naveen, this is a very good story. It's a true story, but I will tell you. My gurus told me after that, God doesn't need you there, He has some job for you here. He has a mission for you. Now that you've got this new lease of life, up to you to decide what to do. And this was a very important declic in my life. From that time onwards, I started thinking about giving back to society. And that's what helped me to create Global Rainbow Foundation. I want to share that with you. That was very important. And the other reason which propelled me to create Global Rainbow Foundation was when I look at my journey, what I've achieved going to UNESCO as a world citizen, starting from a thatched roof house, I said, God, you've been too good to me. You spoiled me in this age, in the 60 years of my life. I need to give back. And these are the two factors which prompted me to come forward and say now from age 60 onwards, all the years that will give me God is meant for service to humanity. I've done it here for 10, 11 years now, since 2011, continuously, and I can tell you this is the best phase of my life. I feel very happy, giving back every day, touching the lives of people. And this year I had a strong intuition again, that you've done well in Mauritius. My team is a wonderful team. Even Dr. Navin Ramblam, when visiting my premises today, how do you do that? I have a team of 50 staff, dedicated staff, who run the foundation, and they can run it now. So I have chosen this year, in June 2022, open a Global Rainbow Foundation in India, and I'm going to India every alternate month with the blessing and approval of my wife, that I can take a 1 month's leave every 2 months to go and serve the land of my forefathers. Well, that's the reason. And to conclude on the question of faith of God in God, a guru told me, he said, if you have a little faith, you can go to heaven. But if you have absolute faith, you surrender totally to God, heaven comes to you. That's what he said, and I think he's right. But let me then come back now to the other aspect of the success story in political life. I can tell you faith in God, service to humanity, serving people when you are a representative of the people, which is a very sacred responsibility, is something which gives you back. And Mr. Nivriti and also was talking about budding politicians. If I may share something with all of you young friends who are doing politics, I can tell you in this constituency, I started the village council level. I won my election in 78, 79 district council, and I must have a special word of thanks to my friend Hafez Banker, who was with me in the village council, who is present today, and also for district council chairman, Mr. Chan Bagirachi, who supported me in 1979 to become president of the district council. I think his son is here, Dadu. But coming to constituency number 6, I was member of parliament, as you know, started in 82. I got the election in 82, 83, 87, 91. I did not lose a single election. And Navin, earlier you were talking about how people vote. In this constituency, there are only 10% of Tamil speaking. But they adopted me all along, from village council to member of parliament. All the general election, they voted me. There were many attempts to get me to lose it, but God was with me, and the constituency adopted me. And I served them also, and that I could say, therefore, there's not a question of what percentage of your community is in the constituency. It's how you serve the people. If you serve them with love, with compassion, dedicate yourself to this as a noble mission, I'm sure they will keep you in their hearts when they go to vote. So that's probably one other point to remember. With regards to education, I will not delve in depth in all these issues, but just as Minister of Education, I would like to sum up what was the recognition I got as Minister of Education, especially when I launched the Master Plan for Education. That was the landmark in my career as Minister of Education, and that was what took me to the World Bank and to UNESCO. You know, as I have only a BA degree in administration from the University of Mauritius. I'm a 100% Mauritian product. But to go to the World Bank, you need a master or a PhD. But the work I did as Minister of Education took me to the World Bank. They recruited me. I'll tell you a story about that, and then UNESCO. So let me share with you what was the key reason for the master plan. The master plan was a great initiative, and this is what Director UNESCO said. I appeal to all the donor countries and organizations to play their part in ensuring that the commitment of the government of Mauritius to educational development implying a human-centered development of the people, by the people, for the people, will bear early fruit and will serve as a model for other countries in the African region and beyond. And then come the UNDP, United Nations Development Program. They said, this was in December 1991, we at UNDP feel extremely grateful that Mauritius has taken the lead of the African region in so short a time by producing what we consider to be first-class production in the form of this master plan. We'll be looking forward to sharing this extraordinary effort by Mauritius with other countries. And last, World Bank. The World Bank, who had given prescription for cutting in its education expenditure, 10 years later or 8 years later, they came back and said, the master plan provides an excellent framework for expanding the scope and improving the quality of the Mauritian education system, and for producing the manpower needed to meet the challenges of the 21st century. The master plan was recognized globally, and this was the passport. This was what I got as visa, as passport, where the World Bank recruited me. They called me and recruited me immediately after the election was over in '95. I did not stand under the election, as you know, but that was, and then after World Bank, UNESCO called me when I served for 12 years. So I think, let me also come to you with my mission, my work at UNESCO. Again, I'll be very brief on that part also, and I would like to invite Dylan to play a short video of my journey, 12 years journey at UNESCO.
Armogun Parsuramen, homme très habile, diplomate et intelligent, dont la courtoisie et le savoir ont été d'un apport considérable dans l'exercice de ses fonctions, et lui souhaite plein succès dans sa nouvelle fonction de directeur du bureau de l'UNESCO à Delhi et représentant de l'organisation auprès de l'Inde, du Bhoutan, des Maldives et de Sri Lanka. Fin du projet de décision. Et j'aimerais, si vous n'y trouvez pas d'inconvénient, que nous adoptions ce projet de décision par acclamation. Donc, ce projet de décision est adopté.
Il a toujours contribué à assurer les conditions d'une bonne entente entre les trois organes directeurs de notre organisation. Je lui en sais gré. Je voudrais souhaiter à l'ancien ministre de l'Éducation de l'île Maurice, à un de nos collaborateurs les plus précieux, dans un pur sens britannique sophistiqué, une bonne chance.
This was my first choice. I was very happy to confirm with visiting Prime Minister of Mauritius, Mr. Ranguram, who came to see me the other day, that Mauritius's steady growth owes great deal to the quality education provided to their people, and there the Pulse played a very, very important role as Minister of Education for more than 10 years. I'm confident he will set the bar of achievement as high there as here. Thank you very much.
UNESCO represents the voice of peace and harmony around the world, and I'm grateful to be part of it. Hearing all the wonderful and kind words you have said about me makes me think of those who have greatly contributed to who I am today. Growing up in a modest family, my illiterate but wise, honorable, loving, and caring mother provided my visionary and brave father with all the support necessary to instill in me the value of community service.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Dr. Ramin Ranguram, you recall our friend
chairman of the executive board, Olabi Yai, unfortunately passed away. And he was born on the 12th of March, as you know. And he came, you invited him as guest for the National Day celebration when you were Prime Minister. And he helped us also with the Pravasi card. And well, I think you've seen the tribute, the UNESCO journey there was the most, I would say, fulfilling for me, you know. And this is just a 3 minutes video, but the whole tribute was from 9 persons. I have my faith, and I know what is loyalty and what is service. But I also know what is service to my country. And service to my country comes first, and then service or loyalty to people. My loyalty goes to the nation, to the country. So I did not stand in 1995 at the election. And Saj, and he's not here, but he had borne witness to it when people were attacking me, saying you ran away when I left for the World Bank. And I had a lot of criticism on this point. But let me tell you, in 1993, Saj was with me in Goodlands for a meeting, and we had a break because there was another meeting which was postponed. He asked me, let's go home. He came to my house. Me and him sat sitting together alone. And I told him at that time, in 93, I said, you know, I've done so many years as minister, I feel like taking a break, because already I was getting offers from the World Bank and UNESCO. So I told him I will not stand for 95. And he agreed, reluctantly agreed with me. And when he dissolved Parliament in 1995, I was the one in his office. He said, are you sure you're not standing? I said, no, I told you, but I will be your campaign manager. And I stood with him as campaign manager in number 7 for 1995. That was a tough one, I must say. But I stood with him. And I remember when I finishing the voting, I went with him at home in Clarice's house. I told him tomorrow morning I'm going to organize the counting. He said, forget it, you know, we've lost. But I said, no, I can't forget it. I'm the campaign manager. I went and organized the counting. It was a tough time again. And that was the journey I had. And my good friend who is present today, Jean-Claude Antoine, whom you know, doesn't give you any favor when he interviews you. And this is what Jean-Claude gave me an award. In December, after the election, he wrote in the weekend a long article with this picture where he said, and it's an interesting article to read, les fidèles parmi les fidèles stayed with Anirudh Jagannath. He was alone there. Nobody was coming to talk to him. I was by his side. I stood with him. And that was the sense of loyalty that I had. And I was very happy, and I'm grateful to Dr. Navin Ramgoolam. He recognized that. And you will hear him a little later what he said about this. And that was me. Because I have values, I have faith, and I serve our mission to the full. And also, what we did to break those people who pretend to be more MSM than me, I am a founder member of PSM. We dissolved our party. You realize what we did? I think with hindsight, I felt it was a mistake. We dissolved PSM and created MSM, and Anirudh Jagannath became the leader. And we did it because we had faith and we wanted it to be that way. And I'm grateful to Saj for keeping me as minister for 13 long years. I know some people wanted me to move, but he kept me there as minister. But I was loyal, and I want to break that myth or criticism that people are making about me. And that témoignage from Jean-Claude Antoine in his paper is very clear. And I can tell you, when I was director of UNESCO, when I left politics as director of UNESCO in Dakar, Senegal, I organized, we had Kassamotim had raised, President had raised some funds for Africa. He gave that to me, and we set up a school, a preschool, where President Wade was present, and I get them to give the name of Anirudh Jagannath to the preschool in Dakar, Senegal. When Saj came to visit France, he wanted to go to Lourdes, himself and lady. I made all the arrangement with my protocol facilities in France. I made all the facilities. He came to Lourdes. We had a special moment there. And after that ceremony, the next day, Dr. Navin Ramgoolam rang him and congratulated him, told him that I've renewed your presidency. and we celebrated that day together. And that was your vision, that was what you did on that occasion. So therefore, I want people to know that for me, I had my faith, my confidence, my conviction, but one thing I would not sacrifice is my values, my love for my country. When I see my country going in the wrong direction, when democracy is being challenged, when my country is going to the ruins, I cannot stay insensitive, and I have to make position, and I have to take action with regard to that. And Navin will recall probably, when I returned from UNESCO in 2011, I was visiting all the political leaders. I came to your office, I told you, Navin, I'm not coming for any job, I don't need any job. I want to serve and facilitate me. And you did that beautifully all along during your term of office. It was too short, unfortunately for me, but you did it. And that helped me tremendously to get the foundation start and make it what it is today. And I would invite you to hear a very short video, look at a very short video of the launch of the foundation.
Revenons à présent sur le lancement du Global Rainbow Foundation. Hier, par le Premier ministre, le Dr Navin Ramgoolam, je vous le disais plus tôt, a déclaré que le gouvernement accorde 13 milliards de roupies à l'intégration sociale et à l'empowerment. Voyons de larges extraits de cet événement.
La Global Rainbow Foundation, une organisation charitable qui regroupe des personnes de bonne volonté pour soutenir les personnes vulnérables et handicapées.
The journey that I made have given me a lot of experiences, a lot of networks, a lot of friends around the world. And I believe that I have to give back to my country, my beloved country, which gave me all this chance. And therefore, I would like to put all these networks, all these experiences that I have, in all humility, at the service of my country, my contribution to whatever service I've done to the country. It was you, Prime Minister, who gave me the GOSK. And you allowed me to do one thing which is wonderful. This thing, I have been able, as a member of a Mauritian, a small country, to give to the world and to Mauritius, to Sir Suseka Ramgoolam, this highest distinction. Mahatma Gandhi, Nehru, Marie Curie, and great personalities don't only have the UNESCO medal. To the world now, that Sir Suseka Ramgoolam is recognized.
1995, there's something that struck me. And that's when I thought, well, this man is different. In 1995, he didn't stand as a candidate. But he went to Rivière du Rempart and accompanied the then Prime Minister in his constituency and stayed with him. Who did not know in 1995 that they would lose the election? He knew he was probably going to be beaten in his constituency, but he stayed there. It's the principle that you need to have. That is what is more important than anything. I just told you about his career. He could have gone for a quiet life and do what he wants to do. He has chosen to give back, to see what he could give back to society and his country. And I always tell people, you saw a picture of Mother Teresa there. For me, the greatest service you can give is to give time to other people. That is the greatest thing. And this is what he's doing, giving his time, his effort, looking for ways to make a difference in this country. He knows, because he's probably reached that level. But very often people don't realize that we have a mission in life, each one of us. He knows that life is a journey. It doesn't matter how we travel, as long as we arrive at the end of the day. I can't think of nothing which is more noble than to try to touch the inner feelings and souls of another human being. There's nothing more noble than that. And he's doing it for people who did not have the same chances that we had in life. That says more about him than anything I could say now. And these are the people who leave footprints in the sense of time in any country. So I want to congratulate you for what you did, and I can tell you now that we will give all the support that we can, because we believe in what he's doing.
You understand now why my feeling of respect and gratitude to Navin Ramgoolam is so strong. We fought each other all the time. I was never in your government. I was never in the Labour Party. But as Prime Minister, you saw what I was doing and you supported me. And that support that you gave me all the drive, all the energy to move on. And I must say, as from 2014, I never got any support from this government, although it's my former party which is in power. I got a lot of obstacles, but not the support that I need to do the social work. That's all I'm doing. That's why I'm grateful to you. And I will never forget this sort of gratitude in life, because this is what makes your journey and make what you want to achieve. And I've been always guided by the Malayan proverb which says, an old Malayan proverb, one can pay back the loan of gold, but one dies forever in debt to those who are kind. And John Fitzgerald Kennedy said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. And that's my principle. And that's what I'm doing in this part of my life, in my journey. And Navin, you will have my full support. I publicly say, I will not be a candidate. I know you have told you that since 2011. I don't want to go back to politics. My journey has been chosen now. God has entrusted me with this mission of service to humanity in Mauritius, India, and elsewhere. I will continue. I even told God, I talked to God. I told him, you know, all the years you gave me after 60 is for you. I will do that work on me. I will certainly serve my country, but this is a mission I want to continue doing. But you, what you did, Navin, no more than that, I just highlight one or two things more. And one is, when I was appointed to the World Bank, I was recruited on the basis of my own performance. Somebody wrote a letter against me at the World Bank. Thanks to Vijay Joypal, and Sunita is here, you wrote a letter to the World Bank supporting me there. It was not necessary, but it's good to clear it. And the second time when I was appointed at UNESCO at a very high level there, again, I was appointed on my merit, but you asked Madame Busti, was your ambassador then, to support my appointment in the board, in the executive board. So this is, you know, you could see that although I was not in your party, but you had the sense of respect, recognition for my work, and I'm grateful to you for that. My family knows that, and I must say today publicly for people to understand that I am a man of principle and I have gratitude in my life. And I must also say, when you came to UNESCO, you visited UNESCO officially, I was secretary of the board, in a full staff meeting with the Director General. You told all of them in front of everybody, he was the best Minister of Education in Mauritius. And you know what it did for me, among all my staff there? Those were your words of gratitude. And GOSK, you gave me that. I know somebody was not happy when I got it. You didn't even congratulate me for that. But you gave it, the GOSK, to me, called me and gave me GOSK. And I must tell you, frankly, friends, I'm very grateful. Each time I travel, I remember you, because I can use the VIP lounge. Otherwise, I'll have to go the normal way to travel, which is so painful because I travel a lot. Anyway, that was part of the story. So I'm grateful to you, Navin, and I will always be grateful to you. And I must tell you that your battle against COVID and your overcoming that is not something which is just, it happened like that. Like it happened in my case, I know God has a mission for you. And as a brother to you, I will stand with you in that mission that you have. In a very non-partisan way, but in a way of service to the country. And I know I've talked to you about what we need to do for Mauritius, eradicating poverty. This is something which is close to my heart. And also for the person with disability for whom I'm fighting. I will invite Yasin Edu, who is here. Yasin, you move your chair. The gentleman who met the Queen he's the chairman of the Disability Bill Advocacy. The government promised the bill since 2014. Global Rainbow has produced a bill which has been well, supported by international advisors. The bill is ready to go. And you promised to take that also. I asked Yasin Edu to give the bill to Dr. Navin Ramgoolam as leader of the party, and together with all your parties in the opposition, join together, and all your MPs, Mahen and others who are Fabrice, They're all here supporting it. I want to see the bill become a reality, become an act in the near future for those gentlemen, others who are discriminated against in life, in society, in the Mauritian society. And I would rely on, I'd rather give it to you to take that forward with your team who are already canvassing in Parliament. This is my request, and I would really like to see that, because when I'm not here, without a legislation, I know it will be difficult. India has its own legislation since 2016, and you see the benefits of the person with disability there. So let me therefore conclude my intervention, but I cannot miss to say what Sir Susaga Ramgulam did in 1983. You imagine, we defeated him 60-0 in 82. A very bad defeat. But when there was crisis in the government, I was with PSM and in the MMM PSM government. When Anirudh Jagannath was in a dilemma, not knowing what to do, Sir Susaga went on TV, sent messages to him, tell him how to take his position as Prime Minister. And even went forward as saying that he will support, with all humility, with sagacity, with wisdom, he looked at the country. He forgot all that was said and joined us in 83. I still remember in Fortisac, the last day of the canvassing in my constituency, on the lorry, Sir Susaga, age 80, she was with us on the lorry, inviting the population to vote for me, vote for us. And we won. Without Chacha's support to Sir Anirudh at that critical time, we would have lost the government. And therefore, we should be grateful for this. Politics is politics, but we need to have that sense of gratitude and humanity. And therefore, it created in me a sense of revolt when I see what is being done. The way they have treated the former Prime Minister, Dr. Navin Ramgulam. But there's God who is more sublime. God who is above all. And I will therefore conclude my intervention by saying a few quotes to you. That's just to conclude there. But let me also say one thing. I have taken position on another important factor. As a former founder of MSN, I cannot see injustice. I cannot see that the son of Subramania Krishnan, who is doing his school certificate last year, when I heard that he was struggling for his studies after what happened to his father, I went to his home. He had a laptop, which he was using the laptop of his father. The laptop has been confiscated. He had no laptop to work. I went with my friend Kendon. We offered him a brand new laptop for him to study. And starting from there, I'm saying it because it's something which is important to say. I gave him a scholarship every month so that he can complete his studies. His father's wish was that his son could succeed in life. And I am accompanying that boy. I've taken a pledge with him and my friends. Glo Amugam Pasoan Foundation will give him a scholarship up to his university degrees so he can come out and make his own future in life. I would like to conclude by saying I've looked for a few quotes for you, Navin, today. And one is a spiritual inspiration which says, God sees every time you are hurt. Don't waste time trying to pay back those who hurt you. God promises to be your vindicator. And Gandhi said, there's a higher court than courts of justice. It's the court of conscience. It supersedes all other courts. And S. Smith says, judicial abuse occurs when judges substitute their own political views for the law. Another one which is very important goes back to history. The legal principle placing the burden of proof on accusers rather than the accused can be traced back to 2nd and 3rd century Roman jurists, Julius Paulus Prudentissimus. Yet this ancient concept, which forms the legal and moral cornerstone of the American judicial system, is quickly being undermined in the name of national security.
Distinguished guests, I now have the honor to call upon the former Prime Minister, Dr. Navin Chandra Ramgoolam, to take the stand for his keynote address, his second keynote address. We're putting you to work this afternoon, Dr. Ramgoolam.
Thank you. That is why I helped him along the way. He did all the effort was done by you. But when you needed help, I had no hesitation of help because he was doing something for the good of the country and for all these people who have handicaps one way or the other. I find it unbelievable that government is not helping him. I find it unbelievable. It makes no sense. But there you are, that's the way it is. But I'll make a promise to you, your bill will become law when we take over. So I promise. Mr. Baswamin, I won't make a long speech because I know everyone wants to have tea now. But I must congratulate also the writer, Mr. Stoll. When I listen to him, you can see the wisdom he has. I must tell you, I was thinking at one time that I should start writing. And I was invited, I was still Prime Minister, I was invited at the Savoy on an association, by an association. Mrs. Robertson was the chairperson about books and writing books and all this. And I told them, it's very true what you just said. I told them I find it very difficult to even start writing. And what they told me then was, what you should do is start writing, whatever you think. And then later on you can put it. It's very true what Mr. Stoll said, that it takes longer to think about it than actually to write it. But I'll have to find the time also to write it. After 2014, I had decided I should retire. I spoke just to my wife that I should retire, and I thought then I would be able to write the book. But things took a different turning. I was arrested and I said, no retirement there. And we'll see what happens later. But the truth is, today we are here for the biography, and we learned a lot. I was lucky to have a copy of the book, but I must tell you frankly, I didn't read it yet. I just looked at it, but I will have a chance to read it, I'm sure. And as people say, as you just mentioned yourself, every journey has to start with the first step. And it doesn't matter how you travel, as long as you reach your destination. This is what is important. So, all I can say is, I will always be there to encourage you. I think it's fantastic what I heard. I didn't realize that you stopped politics at the age of 45. And I became Prime Minister at the age of 48. You see the difference? But it's remarkable. I wish our young politicians would learn this. That it applies to me also, that politics is not the end. There is another life. There's so many things we can do. We don't have to stick to just one thing. But hopefully I will get a chance to do that also. And retire and write my book if I want to. But I want to thank you all for your presence, and I hope now we'll listen to the former Vice President, what he has to say. Thank you.
We will now proceed with the... Thank you very much, Dr. Ramgoolam. Thank you very much. We shall now proceed with the official launch of the biography of Dr. Amogan Basuraman. So I'm going to ask you to please step forward, Dr. Basuraman. Entitled Born to Serve by, and then maybe what we're going to do, we have a long list of people you would like to give the book to. What we'll do is probably do the first 4 and 3 of your ambassadors at Global Rainbow, and then the other people will receive their books as we go along. And I would like also to tell the audience that the books are here on sale this afternoon. so you can avail of, the two versions are there, English and French, and apparently if you buy both books, you want 2 copies, one in French, one in English, there will be a special package price for the people who want to do that, okay? And of course, Dr. Pasuramen will be there signing the books for you during the tea break just a little bit later on. So let's start with the first presentation. Of course, the first set of books goes to you, Dr. Ramgoolam, so please step forward to receive your books. Voilà. Thank you. Thank you very much. Then we call the former Vice President of Mauritius, Mr. Afbundan, please step forward. So the third recipient is Mr. Chris Punusami, who is the GRF advisor on the board of the GRF. Chris is still with us? Yes? Yeah, Chris. There we go. The author of the book, Monsieur Nivriti Sitoa, please.
Non, si tu veux gagner, correct. Il y a tout le temps,
On peut
facilité.
l'applaudir aussi. Il a posé la première question. And then we have Mr. Jonathan Curler, who is the Public Affairs Officer at the US Embassy. Mr. Curler, are you with us? Please. I hope I didn't scratch your name. So, as I told you, we have a very long list. We have a lot of MLAs who are going to be receiving the book, some collaborators of the foundation and of the Global Rainbow Foundation. And then I believe let's do the ambassadors of GRF. So we have 2 who are here with us. We've seen the first one, Yassine just now. Yassine, bien? Yassine Idou. C'est bon, ça marche? Si, c'est bon. Bien, bien. On va recevoir ton livre. And then we have the other ambassador who's with us this afternoon is Ari Prakash Chandam. Ari Prakash, please come forward. Ari Prakash est là? Il est parti? On m'avait dit qu'il était là. Est-ce qu'on a un autre ambassadeur, non? Il est parti. Non, d'accord. So we have Priyanka Ganesh. Yeah, Priyanka. Okay, and the president of the Rodrigue National Regional Assembly, yes. Monsieur Christian Léopold. Et puis Amina Rose, qui a été la traductrice de cet ouvrage de Monsieur Citoel. Amina, on veut vous récompenser. Indiren, c'est ça? Indiren Person. And of course we call Dassen's love of his life. Madame Pastor, amène s'il vous plaît. So let's give him a big hand. We have a lot more books to give away. Thank you very much. Please keep Dr. Passoran because I know you want to give a prize. Parce qu'on a notre ambassadeur. Il est parti. Donc, d'accord. So we have Priyanka Ganesh. Yeah, Priyanka. Okay, and the president of the Rodrigue National Regional Assembly, yes. Monsieur Christian Léopold. Et puis Amina Rose, qui a été la traductrice de cet ouvrage de Monsieur Citoel. Amina, on veut vous récompenser. D'accord, merci. Indiren, c'est ça? Indiren Person. And of course we call Dassen's love of his life. Madame Pastor, amène s'il vous plaît. So let's give them a big hand, and we have a lot more books to give away. Thank you very much.
Global Rainbow Foundation lance une campagne pour faire toute une place publique accessible. Parce que les gens qui ont wheelchair pas capable beaucoup de place. Alors donc, nous faisons un assessment ici, nous faisons l'audit. Mon collègue Zoya Djanabadi, spécialiste dans accessibility audit. Nous faisons pour une grande compagnie, nous faisons pour Pricewaterhouse, nous faisons pour Scott & Company, nous faisons pour Jetta Tulsidas. So nous et nous faisons une accessibility audit pour donner un certificat et nous donnons aussi ISO avec nos partenaires LEM. Alors donc on vous demande Zoya, venez à côté de moi Zoya s'il vous plaît. Et aussi on vous demande Daniel Wong et Robert Avouillon, maître Robert Avouillon, c'est quand même venir avec moi parce que nous tous avons droit et accès à tout le passe public. Et pour Robert, nous faisons une affaire spéciale pour Robert. Il n'est pas capable facilement dans ce bureau là-bas à House. Vous devez intervenir avec la municipalité, il y a un accès rapide pour être capable dans ce bureau. Mais plus que ça, Robert, il est content de la prière, participer à l'église de la Salette. Avec Père Goupi, Global Rainbow, il fait mettre la rampe dans l'église de la Salette pour être capable sur la prière. Robert, je suis content de être présent ici. Tu as déjà déjeuner, dîner avec moi ici. Alors maintenant, tu as quand même plus souvent, parce que GRF, Global Rainbow, restaurant Rivière, maintenant il est accessible. Tu es capable de venir dans ce toilette accessible, soit accessibilité partout. Moi, encourage les là, tu es capable de venir sans problème. Alors, vous demandez Mindy. Alors, vous demandez Mindy. Et vous voulez Robert Daniel de dire ça comme ça. Alors, Vinny, tu fais un bon déjeuner pour le dé.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, Dr. Mansour pour cela. And then, of course, now I would like to call upon the former Vice President of Mauritius to please come forward for his vote of thanks.
Mr. Prime Minister, our friend Dasen, honorable ministers. Once a minister, always a minister. Once a prime minister, always a prime minister. Honorable members of the National Assembly, distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to say thank you. I have said thank you, but I can't go out of this podium without saying a couple of words, a few words of thanks to our good friend Dasen for the wonderful work that he is doing in the center of the Global Rainbow Foundation in Petit Afrique. I must tell you one thing, that when we were returning on a plane from India, after attending a conference of the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, we were on the first class and I saw Dasen working in his laptop. I said, what is this that you are doing, Dasen? He said, I was working on something very new for Mauritius and I would like you to be my help, to come to my help. I said, with pleasure, but what is it that you are doing? He told me, I'm doing something for those who are handicapped in Mauritius. Hence this Global Rainbow Foundation. But the Global Rainbow Foundation does not look after the handicapped people of this country. He has also side by side with what we call l'Université de Troisième Âge. I said, I am your man, I will help you, I will support you. And together with me, we have two other friends who are here who supported him all through. One is my good friend, Ramda Jadu, who is here present, and Chris Kulusami, whom you have just seen. So all three of us gave him all our wholehearted support for whatever he was doing in his Global Rainbow Foundation. At the beginning, the headquarters was in a small house home in Cornuloff in Port Louis. Now he has got this lovely place in Fort du Sable. You see, We have got very many things in common, Dasan and myself. To start with, we have started life very humble, from very humble families. We have had many brothers and sisters. He has 6 brothers, I have 6 brothers. He has 4 sisters, I have 4 sisters. And Dasan, when he became secretary of the UNESCO, let alone whatever he achieved, you have heard a lot about him in whatever he achieved in education in Mauritius. When I was made ambassador of Mauritius to Paris, I tried to find out who are the Mauritians I can get in touch with and who can help me in that lovely city of Paris. So one name brought to me was Armugam Pasuraman. I said, what is he doing here? They told me he is the secretary of the Executive Council of UNESCO. Can you imagine that great honor done to Mauritius, a Mauritian at the heart of UNESCO, working there? I phoned him, I said, Dasan, I'm glad to meet you, to talk to you. You know what he did? He took me to various lovely fish restaurants in Paris. And I'm sure his cousins who are here, they're there, who serve him those lovely fish that he likes. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I have taken plenty of notes, like the Prime Minister, of what he has said, what I heard earlier on, when we were unveiling the statue of Sir Siusagaram Gulam in his headquarters. I can keep you the whole evening, whole night, even up to early morning to talk to you about him, about Sir Siusagar and what he achieved in this country. The first time that I was appointed in government as parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Youth and Sports, that was created at that time, Sir Siusagar called me at his place in Defoe Street, now Sir Siusagar Ramgulam Street, and he looked at me and said, "Tu connais, mon peut nommer toi secrétaire parlementaire d'un nouveau ministère qu'on peut créer, jeunesse et sport." Dans le mois de jeunesse, on connaît quelqu'un beaucoup, mais beaucoup de ministres qui appellent Raymond Roux, il n'est pas trop zen comme à toi. Et toi-même pour ministre. Si jamais tu as un petit problème, n'importe quoi, tu viens dire moi. But I tell you one thing, Raouf, whatever you do, whatever you will do, you must believe in what you are doing. Even if you have to believe in the devil, you believe. I said, Chacha, I believe in you, and I will do whatever you want me to do. You can trust me. I said, thank you so much. So tomorrow, we go to State House, you'll be sworn in as Parliamentary Secretary. I said, Chacha, thank you so much. There are many other instances I can talk to you about Sir Siusagar, about independence. You see, I am one of those someone told me, last of the Mohicans. In actual fact, there are only 2 of us left in this world to talk to you about independence right from day one. One is my friend who is not very well, called Eliezer François, and myself. So if ever any one of you would like to hear about independence, how we achieve independence, what progress we have done, we are your men. But today it's not all this. Today it is Armugam Pasuraman's book. Congratulations, Dasan. Congratulations for what you have achieved in life, in education, and now among the handicapped and the elderly. God will bless you. You have said a lot about God, about your belief. I think you deserve God's support in whatever you do. But in all what you have said, there is one phrase that has come to my mind, and to say just in what you believe, Vasudeva Kutumbukum. And that means the whole of mankind. So whatever he is doing, he is for everybody in Mauritius, not just one community, but he believes in Mauritians, and God will support you and help you. With this, I say thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the Prime Minister Navin Ramgoolam. Thank you to the writer and thank you to all those who support him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdulrauf Bandan, for this vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, may I remind you now that Dr. Pasuraman will be signing his books. That's on the little table on the right of the audience where you are. So if you look to the right, there's the table over there. He'll be signing the books. So if you want to avail of the opportunity to do so, you may do. A special package also will be presented also.